Hi everybody, welcome to week 5 in biology. Alright, so I'm looking at the pace chart. This is for the older version, version 15. If you're in version 16, this is actually assignments for next week. So we're actually giving you kind of the heads up. I know that's a little confusing, and I'm sorry I haven't figured out how to make it less confusing. Alright, so let's just talk about these assignments, the cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Look at the time that it usually takes. They're estimating 2 hours each. If you try to do these assignments less than that, you're going to get into trouble. You're not going to know the material. Now, the 2.05 cellular respiration, just a lot of information. At the end, there's a quiz, only 10 questions long, but they are complicated. If you have notes, no problem. But if you're trying to zip through it, good luck. That's not going to work. You're also going to need to know about cellular respiration in order to complete the photosynthesis assignment. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Then also we're going to talk a little bit about the collaboration option and the DBA and a couple of things about that. So let's just kind of zip over to the lessons, and let me just warn you that problems there. These are, I think, the most difficult lessons in the course, and so no matter where you're taking them, so if you're taking them with this class or in a classroom, very difficult. All right, the thing that is interesting about this is that this course does a great job trying to simplify the material. And if you go through, there's a lot of chemistry mentioned, they have a lot of graphics. And believe me, these graphics are much simpler than what you're going to find in many textbooks. They did a great job finding these or designing these, and they are, but they are not easy. So just go through, methodically take notes, try to follow what they're saying. Once you kind of focus, it's not as hard as it looks. Just a lot of chemistry. They want to basically show you that it does take some energy to get some energy out of food, and so they're going to walk you through an understanding about that. Make sure you go through all these cycles. You're going to need this information for the next assignment. But anyway, that's it is chemistry. A lot of students don't like to learn about chemistry and all that. In the new version, I think they did a great job where they actually have some buttons you can click on for pronunciation, which I love. It's hard for me to learn something if I can't pronounce it. But for the old version, I think that's the only difference really about the different versions. I love concept maps. Definitely do these interactives. It will help you understand the basic concepts, and that'll make a big difference when you are going through everything. All right, so for photosynthesis, let me just mention same thing. Lots of information, good graphics, a little confusing. This is probably the most confusing graphic. And when they go through, they try to isolate and explain what's happening. It is not an easy concept, but you just go through and do the best you can, take notes, and that would be the best you can hope for. But like I say, I haven't found any graphic or explanation that does any better job. So just hang in there. It is a difficult issue. Now let's talk about the activity for photosynthesis. They want you to do something very specific. And here's the key paragraph. They want you to take the carbon atom that's in a molecule, and you're going to follow that carbon atom throughout not only photosynthesis, but also respiration. And so you're going to start with, for example, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide has a carbon, so you start with that. It goes through the process of photosynthesis. Then it's going to be able to go through cellular respiration as a glucose molecule, and it will come out also as a byproduct of carbon dioxide. And so you're going to go through that and talk about the molecules that it changes into. That's what you're going to need to follow. Not easy, so just hang in there. But most students do this as a PowerPoint. You can do it as a creative writing assignment. You can do it as an analogy. You can do it as a cartoon, whatever you want to do. You make a play. The easiest thing, I think, is to do a PowerPoint and then just kind of focus on the carbon. So that is a tough thing. All right, so let me just show you for these assignments that are a little bit tricky. Let me see, I'll go in as a student version. When you go to the assessments, open up, like you're going to turn this in. Where is it? There it is. At the very top of the page, sometimes you're going to see some extra writing. That is a little area that I'm allowed to go in and edit and put things in there. So you're going to find some resources occasionally in some of these more challenging assignments. There's a couple in Module 3, but this is one of them. So like for this as example, there's a cartoon. A student found it for me, and it's actually very useful. It's a little bit entertaining. It's got huge amounts of details, but it goes through a lot of the stuff that you're learning about. It actually has more information than you need, and it goes on, but it's excellent. It's a little dark in the comedy that it takes, but you know, most students like that. So also I put a video in there. This is a crash course video that's excellent. If you like that type, and it's great. Some students like it, some don't. I think that's a 12-minute video, and so good luck with that. But definitely check that out. If you get stuck, let me know. Maybe I can find some more resources for you. Okay, so when you go to do the discussion-based assessment, there is a study guide, and I don't remember if we talked about this or not, but if you go to the lesson, that's the last lesson in the module, it'll say DBA module exam and just tells you what to do, but it doesn't mention that there's a second page, which is where your study guide is. So hopefully that will help you. All right, let me just talk a little bit about the collaboration project. You don't have to do it in the order that it appears on your assessment, but you can find a student. Speaking of students, if you go to the main menu and click on students, you can actually see who's in your course. And so you can maybe recognize someone and say, hey, I know them. I'm going to see if they want to work with me, and we'll just do the collaboration that's in the course. That's fine. Or you can go to the main menu, look for discussion group. At the very end, the last discussion group says collaboration video review. You're going to find a video that another student posted, and you're going to go and watch that video, write a well-written paragraph, and post that as a response to their posting. The second part is that you'll find a video that you found as a good resource, and you'll post that, and you'll write a well-written paragraph, given your recommendations. My instructions are under my name, so you can review that at any time. 90% of my students use this because they don't have to wait on anybody else or anything like that. All right, that is pretty much it. I hope that helps you. Have a great week. Hopefully you made your grace period, and have a great week.